Sonny, Joey, 500. Got some goats in the field. Get ready for a shakedown. Prepare for a shakedown. We from Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down. Get ready for a shakedown. We underdogs, my guy. Kinda used to all the hate now. Prepare for it, man. Y'all get it. My QB got swag. My wideout is award winning. This fly was fly. Joey and 500. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Here's a quote you can sing back. Shake squad up and don't be a dingbat. It's a shakedown.
Don't you frown.
Shakedown.
Here comes Philly Shakedown.
Let's go.
What is going on, guys? This is the Philly Shakedown podcast. We are finally back. It's been a while. It's been a long time this week. A lot of complications this week. That's mostly my fault. But going over this, obviously, lost to the Dallas Cowboys 51-26. If you want to even call it a loss, if you want to say that Eagles fans are pissed off, because I think most Eagles fans are far from being pissed off from this game. And obviously, the playoffs are right around the corner. So, Philly 500, what's going on? It's been a while. How you doing?
What is up, man? It's been a long time. I know you've been sick, and I've been stuck, not being able to get home in time to really get anything done. So, this is the first time we could do it, but I'm glad to be back. And we have a lot to celebrate tonight because the Philadelphia Eagles are going to the playoffs. They are in the playoffs, and tonight they went out there against a Cowboys team who was desperate, who was panicking, who played all their starters, who were trying so hard, and they went toe-to-toe with a starting Cowboys, our practice squad players, from up until the fourth quarter when Dallas finally took over, and it showed me a lot. It showed me that the Cowboys are ripe for the picking. They're ripe for the picking, which is why I want Dallas next week. I want Dallas. That's how I'm feeling today.
It was kind of crazy how this team was 17-17 at one point. Eagles are running down practice squad play. I mean, practice squad offensive line. You know, you have Jason Huntley and these guys just running down their throats in the second quarter and doing all of that while on top of, you know, and I understand Dallas broke away a little bit at the end of the game. Obviously, those two punts that Sippos had in this game were horrible. And hopefully that's one thing that was really kind of, you know, that was kind of worrying me a little bit.
Yeah, that Sippos punt really killed us because then it was 30-17 at halftime. And even when it was 30-17, they really they didn't pull away because the Eagles make it 30-20. It's a 10-point game. Still got a game. The big, to me, what really did it was when J.J. Arcega-Whiteside drops a touchdown pass. You drops a touchdown pass that would have made it 30-26. And then it just seemed like after that, you know, the Eagles weren't the same. It was just too much at that point. But, I mean, I was so proud of this team to go out against the Dallas Cowboys and their starters and force them to play almost the whole game. The Eagles, we're not talking about just backups. We're talking about third and fourth string practice squad guys. And to me, Dallas showed their desperation to not have to play two road games. And the Eagles, they showed me that they got a lot to work with, man. The future is bright.
Take the Dallas Cowboys out of this game. And these are one of those games where you can actually look at this game and you could say, okay, from what I could take from this game is I could look at some of the backups, see who kind of rises to the occasion a little bit, see what they do. Guys like obviously Jason Huntley that, you know, we knew that he was good. I mean, he's a quick little guy and he could get through. And I mean, this is with a practice squad offensive line. You know, Andre Dillard probably hasn't played since when Mulatto was out a couple of games. But this is where you could take like certain players and see who rises to the occasion. So I really like Jason Huntley a lot. I really liked Milton Williams played really well today. Right. A lot of pressure today. And that's our third round pick from this past year. So it's nice to see him get more reps. Teron Jackson get reps, but Milton Williams I thought played a really good game today.
I thought so too. I thought Tyree Jackson played good too, to be honest with you. You know, I thought it was the perfect. I think the Eagles handled this whole thing perfectly. You come out, you give Jason Kelce one snap, let him continue his streak and starts. He's out. Devontae Smith, you go to often and early, you get him to break the record, and you get him out. And that's exactly what they did. to me, at that point, we're sitting in it right there. Everything's gravy. All my guys are out. And then it's just a matter of, hey, how hard can you make this on the Cowboys? How hard, how much can you fight them? How much can you stay with them? And to me, that was what it was all about. And it was like watching this underdog just slug it out with these guys who think that they're heavyweight champions, but they're not. They're paper champions. And it was hilarious. And I gotta say, I mean, I couldn't be more happy with the way this thing went. Of course, we lost at the end. It got out of hand at the end. But I mean, I think a practice squad, third, fourth string players gave everything they could. There was nothing left to give.
We have a super chat from Philosopho. Oh, I can't even talk right now. Philosoph. Can you read that? Because I can't read the name.
Philosophobic.
Yeah, I can't. We apologize. I can't read today. So it says Quez needs more consideration and respect. Now, Quez Watkins actually had the screen pass touchdown today. He had a few good catches today. What do you take out of him this whole year? Okay, I know obviously we're going to the playoffs right now, but for Quez Watkins, what has he done from obviously preseason till now as a player? What do you think of him as of right now?
I'm gonna be honest. I think Quez Watkins can be a number 2 wide receiver on this Eagles team. I think he needs more reps. He needs more opportunities. But I think he's at least a number 2 wide receiver. Now the Eagles may go out and get another veteran wide receiver. That's fine. I would spend my money. I would make Quez Watkins my number 2 next year, and I would go spend money on a slot receiver because I think that Regular stinks. Like he doesn't stink. I shouldn't say it. He has talent, but he just it's mental, and I think you saw Ortega-Whiteside, right? I mean, this is it, right? We're all done with Ortega-Whiteside now, right? There's no more people that are going to tell me he needs a chance, right?
I mean, you're seeing. No, yeah, I mean, you're seeing 2 of the worst picks that's on the field right now with J.J. Ortega-Whiteside came and catch that ball, and Rager's not even going against Trevon Diggs, or he's not going against really top talent corners. There's no Anthony Brown in there, and he can't even get separation off of backup corners. And it's not like this is the first time where we've played teams with backup corners before. Guys have had injuries like Tampa Bay, like injuries like that. We haven't had Rager do anything, and he's nothing more than a gadget type, reverse handoff screen receiver. I mean, that's really all he is right now. I don't know. And even special teams, I like Jason Huntley on special teams so much better because he gets the ball and he runs straight and he doesn't care who hits him in his way. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. But I tell you what I really took out of this game was that the Eagles could run on the Cowboys. The Cowboys are going to have a hard time stopping Eagles' run game because the Eagles were doing it with backup practice squad, third, fourth string running backs. You didn't see Miles Sanders. You didn't see Jordan Howard. You didn't see Boston Scott. None of them played. It was our fourth and fifth string running backs. And they had like 140-something yards rushing. Dallas does not want to see us in the playoffs, let me tell you.
I just think that Dallas is kind of overachieving right now to the point where they're taking it. I mean, they were over-celebrating today. It was actually really pathetically sad that they scored over 50 points. Number one, the end of the second quarter, right at the half, we punt a really bad ball to pretty much the 50-yard line. They score to get to about 30 points. So I just don't see – and like 2 road games, you got 2 road games at the end of the day in the playoffs. So you got to figure out – that offense still has a lot of issues. Ezekiel Elliott had a good day. He wanted to hit his 1,000 yards, whatever. Obviously, Tony Pollard's the better back, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but Ezekiel Elliott's he's not what he used to be. He doesn't really break any runs anymore. He gets those real hard chunk yardage. I mean, that's pretty much it. And, I have to say for this Eagles team, the way they set this whole thing up today with taking a lot of guys out, I think me and you kind of disagreed before the stream pretty much on Jalen Hurts, on pretty much like you think it's perfect for them not to play him at all. Me, I figured maybe they should put him in, not even a quarter, maybe like a series or 2, just so there's no rust. And I really hope there's no rust because it's already enough. This team is not scoring points in the first half of football games. So, we have a super chat from TY Eagles Flash. Says Milton Williams was getting held a lot by Dallas.
Dallas got away with a lot of stuff today. Let me tell you,
they did.
There was a run I think Huntley ran he got like 4 or 5 yards, and it was offsides. I mean, the guy was over so late, and they never called it. And I was like, oh, boy. Dallas got away with a lot today.
We got a super chat from Damian Ramey. Says, how about JJ stinking up the place? Quez and Huntley and Gainwell were balling. Yeah. This JJ Arcega-White's like this. That's why they have to bring in another receiver. See, if Greg Rohr walks in the free agency, you gotta bring in another receiver. This way it can knock some of these other guys down a few pegs, because we need them to either, because Rager's probably going to be here next year, most likely, and he needs to compete, and we need to bring in more talent to this wide receiver room. Well, I mean, we have
Rager. I mean, he just plays so slow. Like, I just think he's overthinking stuff so much. He doesn't react fast enough, and I don't know if he's going to get it or not. But I think you have to go out and definitely get another wide receiver, a veteran wide receiver.
Yeah. I mean, what's a name that you really like you would love here? I mean, I think like nothing like a Devontae Adams, just because I think.
Devontae could cost you too much. You know, I really want to use most of my money to get an edge rusher. But I don't know. You know, like a Tyler Lockett could be a perfect type guy. You know, is Calvin Ridley really on the trade block? Because I would totally be open to that. You know, so somebody like that. Mike Williams is another guy. It would be good. Yeah. Right. Allen Robinson. Yeah, all those guys. But I don't think you want to overspend. I think you don't need Devontae Adams. I mean, not that I wouldn't want him, but I think they got to use their money on a defensive end. I really do.
Yeah, so you're saying a pass rusher in free agency like a Chandler Jones or like a Hassan Reddick, something like that. Right.
Exactly. And then I would draft another end with my first pick. That would be what I do.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to receiver, I think they should go after somebody. I think you'd rather trade for somebody. I don't know. I think would you rather trade for somebody? This way you can extend them to lessen the cap hit, or are we better off paying somebody? Just depending on the cap we have and obviously the 12 draft picks we have now.
It depends on who and what it would cost us. You know,
right.
I mean, the whole Calvin Ridley thing, I find very interesting, but I also got to say, I think that Quez Watkins I think Quez can play, man. And I think they got to keep developing him. And I wouldn't mind going out and getting a slot guy, like somebody that could be a slot guy. Look at a team like Buffalo, right? They got Stephon Diggs, and then they have Emmanuel Sanders. And then they have what's his face as a slot guy. Like, they need that kind of guy, that third down guy.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna run to, Ridley has only played 5 games this year, 280 yards, 2 touchdowns for the year. So I mean, a lot of fans are saying that he quit on the team. I know he had some mental issues or something has been going on.
Well, so they're going to have to investigate all that stuff. I'm just strictly speaking from a talent standpoint. I don't know all that stuff. That, who knows what's going on with that.
Philosophophobic says it's philosophophobic, but Devin Lloyd is in need.
Sorry about that, man.
No, you're good. I mean, yeah, a linebacker would be definitely top of the list, but
oh yeah, I mean, just hard to see the Eagles doing it,
I mean, do you think they need a complementer? So Davion Taylor's hurt twice already. So we've kind of figured, TJ Edwards and Davion Taylor were first playing pretty good. And then you see Alex Singleton kind of come up in some games and play well when he's the enforcer, when he goes up and makes those hits, not taking the hits. And then you see Jannard Avery. It's kind of peaked a little bit. I think Jannard Avery has actually peaked a little bit in this defense, making some tackles, blitzing when, Gannon actually doesn't do any vanilla blitzes, when he actually starts doing stunts with these linebackers and doing some cool things like that. I think they found probably 3 good linebackers. Singleton most likely a backup, but I think you need to get that thumper, that complementary piece to TJ Edwards, and I think you have something at that position.
Yeah, you could. I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind getting a linebacker, but I just know this team, know the way they think, they're not going to do it. That's what I think.
Has there been has there been any evidence that Jason Kelce is going to retire after this year? Do you think?
I keep hearing that he's going to think. I think it's going to be one of those things where we're not going to know until probably near the draft. He's probably going to take some time off, want to retire, and then he might come back. Hopefully, he comes back. I mean, he's still the best center in football, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, this was even with Doug, even the past couple of seasons, like even with Doug, like when he's hurt during the season, he probably has that mindset he's going to retire. Then once like everything stops, the season's over, he starts to think he gets healthy again, and then he changes his mind sometimes. Right. So sometimes it's just like an in the moment type thing with him. But I mean, he could play for another 3-4 years here if he really want. I don't know how many more years he's got left on his contract. But I don't know if moving Isaac Samal to center or you want to move Land Dickerson back to center if that's the case. Because
I'm at the point with Dickerson. I'm not moving him. He's so dominant at left guard right now. And then you have him with Jordan Mailata. It's just such a dominating force. I wouldn't. No. I would either draft another center or or if Kelce comes back, I'll draft the right guard. That's what I would do.
Yeah. Let's see here. Chris Nate says if Kelce was going to retire, I wish we knew tonight. Last game in front of the fans. Yeah, it's too early. It's way too early.
Yeah, agree.
Unfortunately, we have 214 people in the chat. Much love to everybody that's joining. We haven't done the Philly Shakedown since last week, pretty much, since I ended up getting the virus, and everything's just been a total disaster, and I still really don't feel good. But if you guys haven't subscribe to the channel. We cover the Eagles every day. If you guys haven't liked the stream, please like the stream. If you guys haven't subscribed to Philly 500, his link is in the description below. Check out his stream from today from pissing off all the Cowboy fans.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
Against the practice squad players today. Because what were you saying during the streams today?
I said every player would be like, all right, Dak Prescott back to pass against the Eagles practice squad. But it was true. It was true. I had to remind them.
You couldn't even be mad at this game. How can you sit there and be like mad at this game?
I couldn't. I'm not mad at this game at all. I could care less about. They could have scored 2. All I wanted was the Eagles to rest their starters, Devontae Smith to get the record, the Kelce to have his continued streak, and then go out there and play as good as you can against Dallas with nobody. And they did that. And to me, the longer that Dallas had to keep their starters in, the more I was winning. We were winning, in my opinion. And that was it. And what it showed me today was the Cowboys are ripe for the picking. They're exactly who I thought they were. And this is why we need to get – I pray to God that we play them in the first round.
Yeah. I agree.
And then and you look at my chat. Eagle fans are happy. Cowboy fans were pissed off. You tell me.
We're going to find out. We're going to find out if this from the Dallas Cowboys, especially if this, kind of transfers into the next playoff game. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be by tomorrow. I mean, obviously they're trying to fight for that second seed. So I think a couple things have to happen, And, I mean, there could be a chance the Eagles play the Cowboys. It could happen, but
not likely, but
probably not.
Happen.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's the thing the Cowboys fans say to me. I'm going to say to get this out. Well, we played your starters week 3 and beat them. What happened then? Well, we didn't have an identity then. We ran our running backs 5 times an entire game. Miles Sanders, 3 carries. Kenneth Gainwell, 2. The Eagles had no identity when you played us. And then now when you played us this game, you played our practice squad. And it took you 4 quarters to put us away. How could I be upset about that? Yeah. I love it.
Unix EDU says, with the super chat, say, I hate for you, Philly 500. Here's $5.
Thank you, buddy. I love you too. That's great.
Just you can't.
I can't hate for that.
No, you can't. So, Miles Sanders, right? What do you think's going to happen next week?
I think he plays.
Really?
I think Miles is going to play, and I think I think he's going to play. I do. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It depends who we play. Like, I think Miles is going to play, and I'm trying to think, like, and I'll ask you, what order would you want to play? Like, to me, the best possible matchup is Dallas. They're the most beatable, and they're the biggest fruit hanging out there. We beat them. The second team I'd rather play is the Rams, and I don't say that lightly. If Stafford is on, it's hard to beat them. Okay, it's going to be hard to beat them. But Stafford, to me, is a guy that could be bad. You never know. You know what I'm saying? And then you look at the third team is the Buccaneers. I know they're banged up. I know all that stuff, but they have Tom Brady, and I'll never feel comfortable playing him.
Yeah, so even like, because I was going to talk about Tampa myself, because I said Tampa's got some injuries. Like, they're obviously their secondary is not great. Against the pass, they've been really bad all year. And, Brady's really the only thing that's keeping that team together as of right now, between all the controversial stuff that's going around about Antonio Brown and all the crap that happened there. So, which we didn't talk about. But, Stafford, do you have to get pressure on him for him to mess up? Or is he the quarterback that's just waiting for either he's going to have a really great game, an okay game, or he's going to have a really bad? We've seen all of it with Stafford this year.
Stafford has killed the Eagles in the past with humongous games, but he's also, in some ways, a lot of people feel he's underachieved in the playoffs. So you just don't know what you're going to get with him. If he's on, you think about Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham. I mean, it's just scary, dude. They got a scary offense. When you look at the Buccaneers, the whole thing when you play any quarterback, but especially Brady, you got to get pressure. You're gonna have to get pressure. And to me, the whole key for the Eagles in the playoffs, and we'll talk about this later more, is run the ball. You got to run the ball, and you have to be more aggressive on defense early in the game. You can't wait until the second half for Tom Brady to go 25 of 27 and 3 touchdowns. You can't wait that long. You got to be aggressive early. So if they do those two things, they'll have a chance to win. Otherwise, it's going to be tough. I think the Eagles beat the Cowboys if they play them. I think that if they play the Rams or the Buccaneers, I can't say that right now.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Obviously, the Cowboys, because obviously that we know them, they're in our division, and we know the weakness,
and they're primed for the choke. To me, they showed themselves to be frauds tonight. I think they're frauds. I think their coach is a fraud. I think his mindset is he's playing scared. That's why they played their starters. They're scared going into the playoffs. I want Dallas.
Yeah. Even them playing all their stars. I mean, it wasn't even just like, I felt like, Ezekiel Elliott needed to get his 1,000 yards rushing. I feel like they, I think they did that somewhat of the Washington game too, where they took advantage of that lead that they had, and they kept a lot of the stars, and just pure cockiness to the end of that game. And I just don't see this team coming up in the playoffs to be anything special, even to get to an NFC Championship game. I just don't see it. I just can't. I just think Dak Prescott is. Look, he was throwing to wide open guys today. I mean, literally our corners. I mean, Gannon had these guys. 15 yards. He did not. I mean,
you have like McPherson on CeeDee Lamb. I mean, come on, dude. I mean, it's a joke. Wilson. Was it Cedric Wilson? He's a pretty good receiver already.
Right.
Okay. No, he was effective for them already. Mm-hmm. And then Gallup got hurt, and he's a big receiver. Amari Cooper's, he is what he is, and it's just like, dude, this team stuck around and made them play until the fourth quarter. I think that was so big, but I really do wonder about the mindset of McCarthy, because I think McCarthy is overrated. I'm just going to say it. I think he's overrated. And I've said this before he was hired by the Cowboys. So this isn't a Dallas thing, but he should have won 3 Super Bowls with Aaron Rodgers. I think he's a choker. And I think the Cowboys are set up for it.
Dream Nation 19 with the super chat. Appreciate it. He says, I call the Cowboys Dak and sack Philly 500.
There you go. The Cowboys Dak the sack. There you go. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, no, I think they're down. I think something's going to happen. I think I'm telling you, because you know what? It's all about, when it's the regular season, it's all about like when your team gets hot. It's all about like you have to get hot at the right time. And I think like I think the Cowboys have gotten their stride during the season, but I don't think they've really faced that much good talent this year either. I mean, I don't care if you're
No.
like, you know what? It's not even that. It's like when even the fans talk about, oh, we went over 500, and it's like, well, just because you go over 500 doesn't mean you face good teams either. So
Right.
you know what I mean? And I mean, I think they got lucky some games. I think even the Chargers game, I thought the Chargers got robbed in that game. Even when their backup quarterback came in for that one game against the Vikings, and that was, we didn't think or really expect that he was going to play a good game, and he did. So I mean, they pulled out some good wins. They pulled out some really good wins. So, and like you said earlier in the season, we had no identity. I mean, we didn't have a run game with Jordan Howard was on the practice squad. I mean, we were a total disaster. Jalen Hurts' mechanics, Nick Sirianni's play calling, everything was a total mess. So really, after that Raiders game, pretty much like kind of when we got beat by double digits, and then Nick kind of talked about the fertilizer and growing the roots and all this stuff, and we thought it was a total joke. Like we thought it was a joke, but it seemed like the players really took it seriously and really they want to play for this coach. I mean,
I feel like, look, we could be honest. If you look at Dallas on paper, they're a better team on paper. But I feel like the Eagles are built better for the playoffs than Dallas. You know what I'm saying? I think the style of play is better for the playoffs. They've got a better chance. That's why I would not be surprised if the Eagles go further than the Cowboys.
Yeah,
that I truly mean it.
Yeah, I mean, what's the one thing that the Eagles have to fix, like just playing the football in general? Like, what's the one thing, like, that's on the top of your head right now that they need to, like,
pass rush?
Fix? Yes,
pass rush.
Yes,
pass rush. You got to get pass rush, especially the way Gannon coaches. Right, the way he coaches is he needs his front four to get pass rush because he's not aggressive. So you have to fix your pass rush, and that's going to be the key. If he comes out and he's bringing blitzes and stuff, and he's aggressive, I think whoever they play will be shocked. And look, Brady could kill you on the blitz. Brady could kill you no matter what. But I just know that they're going to have to take some risks and be aggressive on defense. And they got to do it early and not into the third quarter.
Yeah, and it seems like both sides of the football, like I think number 2 on the list is you got to stop disappearing in the first half, and you cannot do this in the playoffs. You just can't at this point.
Now, I don't know how exactly the Cowboys and the Eagles could match up. I think they could be the 2 and the 7th seed, or the 3 and the 6th seed. So I think maybe the best chance is the 3 and the 6th seed. If the Rams beat the Niners and the Saints win, the Niners are out. The Eagles would go to this. I think we might go to the 6th seed. I don't know how it worked, but if there's any way on earth that we can just get Dallas, that's what I want. That's all I want. Because Dallas, in my opinion, both games have not gotten Eagles' best. They've not gotten our best yet.
No, because they haven't played our best yet.
No,
I mean,
they played us in week 3 when we had no identity,
right. And
then they played us this game where it was practice squad.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really look. It was nice if we got that 10th win today. It would have been really good, but like it was the least of my worries.
It looks better. It looks good to have 10 wins. It does. It looks good. But you know what? I'll get my 10th win in the playoffs. How about that?
And I really hope this team, has some production in the first half. Like you talked about, Gann, the defense, and really not doing anything in the first half. Just really just keeping with your 4-man pass rush that's not getting anywhere. And then it's just crazy how I don't know how you're not learning this from other games where you go into the second half and they're doing stunts and they're blitzing and they're using their linebackers all over the place. I mean, it looks so good, and I'm like, why aren't they incorporating that in the first half of games? Are they not taking enough chances? Do they wait to see if the basic thing is working, and then if it's not, they change it? I don't know.
That's what I think they do, because if you look at it, seems like they come out defensively, especially passive. They come out very passive, especially the Washington game, right? I mean, Heineken was going right down the field. He's just going right down the field the whole half. In the second half, they start blitzing. They start bringing linebackers. And all of a sudden, the pass rush starts getting home a little bit, and things change. I just think that you can't do that with a guy like Tom Brady or Steph. You can't wait. You have to do it early. You have to get that pass rush has to step up. The front four's got to step up.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree, and they, I think it's gotten better, but I think like that's what I think that they're doing. I think they're literally. I think Gannon plays basic, so like,
Yeah.
okay, now we need to change. Like, I feel like he's not going to go into all the stunts and the blitzes and all that stuff early. I just feel like that's his way. I don't know what he's doing.
See, his mindset to me, when I look at him, he's a between the 20s kind of guy. Like, he don't care what you do between 20s. It's bend, don't break. That's what he thinks. Let's stop them. Just don't give them touchdowns. They can move the ball over. But that doesn't work, in my opinion, when you play Tom Brady, when you play Aaron Rodgers. They score touchdowns. Now, if they're scoring touchdowns in every possession, it's going to take your running game away. So, to me, the two big keys in the playoffs are going to be run the ball and be aggressive early on defense.
Yeah, I agree. We got a super chat from Michael Felder. What's going on, man? He says just turning in. How do you feel about Huntley going forward?
I like Huntley. I think Huntley. I would like to see Huntley on returns and punt returns more than regular. But I think Huntley. Should play. You get more time. I mean, it's going to be hard right now because you got Miles, Jordan Howard, Boston Scott, and then Gainwell. So he's the fifth running back. But I want him on the roster going into next year.
Yeah, no, I really would like to see him on special teams as well because he just runs forward, because he actually gets positive yards, because he doesn't end the day in negative yards like some.
Dude, the Eagles ran the ball down the Cowboys starting defensive line's throat with practice. I mean, they were beating the crap. Dillard was like manhandling DeMarcus Lawrence. They was awesome. It got to the point where the Cowboys were jumping all sides because they were they couldn't get off the ball. The Eagles run game is nasty, dude. It's nasty. I love it.
We ended up getting Huntley from the practice squad Detroit, I think, a couple years ago, and he really didn't have a chance. I think like a couple years ago he had like maybe a couple snaps because of injuries, and that was pretty much it. But we're stacked at running back, and that's another running back that could have a chance with another team next year. I don't know, depending if they keep Jordan Howard. I'm not sure. Or if Boston Scott leaves, Jason Huntley could be your next guy. I don't know.
Does Nick Sirianni deserve Coach of the Year? They're asking this question on NFL Network.
He's not.
He's plus 4,000. He should get it though. He should. I think he deserves it. I think he deserves it.
He's the second coach in history, at 2-5, going to the playoffs, and since the 2008 Vikings or whatever it is, to have 3 first-round picks and go to the playoffs or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, to me, what he did in season to change his complete offense, and I heard the radio talking about this, and I'll give credit to Anthony Gargano and them. I was listening, and they're talking about installing offense, how long it takes, and it's a big process, especially in the summer, and to go through all that, and they're right, to go through all that and then say, you know what, this isn't working, we have to change what we want to do and what we planned, and then to do that and become a different offense, a different team. It's very hard to do, man. Very hard to do.
Even Doug's Super Bowl year, he didn't get it. And that's a 60-year drought, and he doesn't even get. I mean, what, Sean McVay won it? Did he win it? What, Sean McVay won it?
Yeah, McVay. But I think that's because they give it before the playoffs start. I think that's what it is. But he should have got it anyways.
Yeah, especially how he coached his team with losing your starting quarterback and obviously having 6-7 main key injuries to your team and still getting to where you had to go. So I think he definitely deserved it. But
agree.
I know Nick won't get it though, but he deserves it.
No, he won't.
Just imagine this team has 3 first-round picks, 12 picks in the draft, cap space next year, and you can get and you're in the playoffs. You're in the playoffs. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
We got Witch King Aguilar with the super chat. Appreciate it very much. Says Ryan Kerrigan finished with 3 tackles on the season. What a joke.
Jeez, I cannot believe how bad he was. like I really thought we were going to have like a third down pass specialist.
Yeah.
You know, he must be shot, dude. He was a great player in his day, but he's shot. You got to move. This team needs edge rushers so bad. To me, I like Josh Sweat, but even so, I still think he's a third defensive end, a rotational guy. I don't think he's a starter. I think you need 2 defensive ends. You know.
I mean, but do you pay a guy like that, like Josh Sweat, to be a rotational guy? I mean, obviously it's a rotational line, obviously.
Well, they said that. I was listening to Joe Banner, and he was saying that according to how it's done, the Eagles' contract that they set up for him was a contract that would be based upon getting 7 to 8 sacks a year. So that's the kind of player they look at him as, and to me, that's a borderline backup. You know. Or a second defensive end. It's not a first defense. It's a second defensive end or a backup or third. You know, that third rotational guy.
Yeah, and I think as of like right now, like even the past few games, I think Sweat. He's got like 5 sacks.
He had a good game last game. He had a great game last game, and he kind of came on a little bit. Brandon Graham torn Achilles. I just don't know what you're going to get back from him. You know,
you don't think he signs a veteran minimum next year? You hear me?
Yeah, my stupid Siri activated. Mother humper, what the hell? And he's saying, and I'm looking, and I'm talking, and it's typing all the stuff I'm saying.
You don't think? I mean, because I don't think Brandon Graham's retiring off of that injury. I don't think it's going to happen.
No, I think he's coming back, but I just don't know. I just don't know. When you have an Achilles injury of a guy in his 30s, it could be pretty brutal. And I think Graham should come back. I just think you have to start preparing for the future. You know.
Did you see that Derek Barnett's on a big contract like a couple minutes ago?
What?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Well, are you? So, how do you feel about Derek Barnett?
I want his ass gone.
See you later.
I'm done, man. That would be bad.
Yeah, it would be really bad. Obviously not now, but huge headache. I mean, look, he's put in a lot of work his rookie year. I mean, he did good rookie year, and that's it.
He had a good rookie year. He was off to a good start his second season. Got hurt. Never really panned out. I mean, if you could bring him back cheap and he wants to come back, okay. But I really think you need to try it. Like if you could get somehow, there's another kid that they keep talking about. I forget his name, but Aiden Hutchinson, the kid from Oregon. There's another kid that people talk about.
or
you get a defensive end like that, and then you could go. Let's say you get Hassan Reddick or somebody like that. Now, some people say, well, Hassan Reddick 3-4 linebacker. That's true, but I think he could play 4-3. I think he'd be a 4-3 defensive end too. I think that's what you need. They need to increase their pass rush.
Yeah, and we have
to me that's their number one. That's number one priority.
We have to unleash these defensive tackles too, because you're not helping them when the edge rushers aren't getting anything done since week 6, 7 of the season. Teams have been eyeing on Javon Hargrave because he's been more productive than Fletcher Cox. So they start doubling him, and really Cox has gotten no help on the edge, but he hasn't helped himself either. He hasn't really had a good year until he's actually the past few weeks has had a little turnaround, nothing crazy, but he's been a little productive. So I don't know if you're moving him just because as of right now, you already restructured him and freed up $11 million, and you're already kind of messed up there. So now you really can't even do much with his contract. So I don't care if he's here next year. I mean, he's getting paid a lot of money, but they have to line someone up on his side. If Brandon Graham is not going to be enough, then they don't sign him. I don't know. Or they just add more depth to defensive end. Or maybe Graham takes a back seat. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. I would bring Brandon Graham back because I think he's just too important of a leader in the locker room. But I would really try to get myself one of the top premier pass rushers coming out of this draft. I really would.
I think there's a really good I would say like 4 defensive ends in this draft that the Eagles can get their hands on some of these guys. Obviously, I don't know where our pick's at. I mean, I don't know. I know obviously last week Miami lost The Colts lost.
Miami's picking 14 tonight. They play the Patriots tomorrow, who need to win, and I think that if they lose and a couple things happen, that 14 could go all the way up to 10.
Yeah.
So we gotta hope that they lose.
Yeah, I mean, look, like just having those 3 first-round picks is great because we didn't know if it was going to happen or not. We didn't know it because we ended up. Remember the offseason, Carson Wentz got hurt. We're like, oh, here we go. He's not going to stay healthy.
Oh God,
we didn't.
His foot went. I said, "Oh, it's over." he ran up. Said, "Oh hell." There we go. There's no way. And he did it. He got it. He's still playing. He's playing for a playoff spot. Good luck to him. All that. We got a first-round pick. I'm happy.
We got a super chat from Richard Henn. He says they just signed me 4 years for defensive end. What do you think about that, Philly?
I trust you more than Derek Barnett. I'll tell you that.
Man, the boneheaded penalties this year. I can't even count.
Wait,
he's had.
Click on that Jim Hollywood dude. This is the insanity of the Cowboys, right? They're going to say Eagles not that one. The one where he says no Parsons, no Diggs. You see it?
Looking for it. There it is.
So no Parsons, no Diggs, no Brown, no Kears on defense. 160 yards passing. See what I'm saying? We played 0 start. Like we had Devontae Smith left the first quarter. We didn't even have our backups playing. You realize we were playing practice squad and you couldn't stop the run? 166 yards passing. What about your running yards? What about us running all down your ass? What about that? 140-something yards rushing? You guys against practice squad line, 4th-string running back, 5th-string running back, just destroyed Dallas's starting defense.
Yeah,
it's not even close.
I don't even care about Curse. Okay, I don't care about Curse. Like that's 2 guys.
Here you go. Look at Wesley Rock. You all had starters in there. What starters? What starters are you talking about?
Wesley Rock. Tell me what starters we had. We had no starters.
Devontae Smith played the first quarter, broke a record. They pulled him. Then they took Kelce out after one snap.
Right.
And it wasn't even. It was like 3rd, 4th-string guys. It's not even close. It's not even close. Cowboy fans can't just accept it. They can't just say, yeah, we beat you. You didn't play your starters. See, now, instead of saying who won the game, they're worried about trying to show us that they didn't have as many starters as we did now. You had Dak Prescott, Zeke Elliott, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, your offensive line, DeMarcus Lawrence, what's his face? Randy Gregory smoking some dope and doing cocaine on the sideline. Come on, man. Crazy. Minshew ain't the quarterback one. And the thing with Minshew is, look at the offensive line he had. He had no time to throw. None at all. This is a great, great moral victory for the Eagles. It exposed the Dallas Cowboys tonight. That's the thing. It ain't about the Eagles winning or losing. We lost, but we exposed how ready and how up for being beat in the first round the Dallas Cowboys are. We exposed the Cowboys are frauds. They're pretenders, not contenders. That's what happened tonight.
That's what I think. I think they turned it into like it was some big game where everybody was playing and nobody was playing in this game. I mean, Dallas had more starters on both sides of the ball.
They had everybody. Diggs didn't play, and Parsons. They're great players, but they didn't play. But if they could have played, they would have. But your $30 million quarterback played.
I don't think this.
Your receivers played. Your offensive line played.
This game didn't give Dallas confidence. This game this isn't like.
Well, what is Dallas is playing for a second seed, right? So they're playing in hopes that they're going to get a second seed somehow. Because if they get a second seed, that means they get 2 home games. Well, it just shows you how scared they are to have to go on the road, in my opinion. That they would risk Dak Prescott, your offensive line, all those guys out there late in the 3rd, 4th quarter, that you're playing them. I think that tells you a lot about how they feel about themselves going into the playoffs.
Yeah. I'm just sitting there and I'm like, they're like, like they scored over 50 points. Dak Prescott threw 5 touchdowns against Zach McPherson.
Yeah.
And
Hey, click on LT. LT says 500. I'm proud of the team because I mean I feel exactly the same way. I am so proud of this team from where they started, what they've come through, and then to watch your backup practice squad go in and go toe to toe with the Dallas Cowboys starters into the fourth quarter. I couldn't be more proud of this team. And we're going into playoffs with house money, no pressure, and whatever happens, happens. Dallas, they got the weight of the world on them because if they lose, it's another year before you have to pay $40-something million to Prescott, and they're going to have no cap money. So to me, the Eagles are sitting pretty right now.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I agree with LT 100%, my man.
I think it's smart, and I think you kind of figured that out. I think after the Washington game when 12 players were on the COVID reserve list, and you're kind of like, okay, this is kind of weird how 12 players have this. And I feel like the Cowboys took advantage of it a little bit, but obviously, before this game happened, I thought they would sit out a lot more players, and then obviously going, with the Eagles, they were kind of hinting that a lot of starters were not playing in this game. And
the Cowboys thought they were going to come in and they were going to blow us out early and often and then pull their starters by halftime. That's what they thought. But it didn't happen. The Eagles went toe for toe with them. To me, it's why are you so scared of having to go on the road for 2 playoff games? I think the Cowboys I think they're ready to get beat, dude. I really do.
I agree.
It's going to be wonderful.
Eagles are just going to get better. They're going to get a lot better next year. So,
yeah.
We got Byron Wright with the super chat. Appreciate it. Says, what did y'all think about rookie Teron Jackson as the future defensive end? As of right now, he's more a rotational guy, and that's more.
He's got some talent and ability. Well, I can't say that. We pencil him in as a starting defensive end or a future. I think you just got to let him continue to develop.
Yeah, another off season, and obviously see if he can get better. Just a project right now, but we'll see though. Now, probably to the main important thing of this whole thing, obviously the future of this team next year. We got a playoff game to look forward to next week, and now you got your picks, you got cap space, and the future of Howie Roseman next year. I mean, you think he stays, obviously, right?
I am not one of these people who early in the week it was like, are you going to apologize to Howie Roseman? Hell no, I'm not apologizing to him for throwing picks. No, I think Howie should stay in terms of he wants to deal with trades, deal with contracts, but I still believe you need a GM that can be a talent evaluator. And I don't think that they're going to do that. I think Howie will stay and he will do his thing and will probably get pissed off at 2 of the 3 picks in the first round.
It could happen.
Just hope they were. The one thing I'll say about Howie, I don't like the way he evaluates talent, but I do think he understands how to build your roster from the inside out. So I do feel very comfortable that he's going to pick a defensive end early in this draft. My question and my fear is that he picks the right guy. That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, and I think you're right on that. I think he's built the trenches. Like he starts from the trenches at first, and really has done a good job. Especially Jordan Mailata was a 7th round pick playing rugby, and look at him now. I think he's gonna be. I think into next year he will be in the Pro Bowl next year. I think Mailata's gonna be a stud. Dickerson was a pick that we didn't really know he had the ceiling. We just didn't know if he was gonna stay healthy, and we just didn't know. We just needed a corner in Asante Samuel Jr. or a linebacker in JOK with that second pick. We didn't know if Dickerson was the right pick where we could have maybe gotten him a pick later. Who knows?
Right. Exactly.
But it seems like it's working out.
Yeah.
So, let's see. We have a super chat from Joe Anabi. What's going on, man? It says, I'm ready to go to SoFi to watch the Birds versus Rams. Could happen.
Yes. It definitely could happen. No question. It's going to be interesting
there too.
Yeah, well, that's the good thing there. It's almost like a home game kind of,
And if you want to go into, obviously, you go to next year, the draft, free agency, get the needs that we need to do. So when you go into this past year, as of 2021 season, okay, what type of team did you see this year from beginning to end of the regular season?
It actually, to be honest, I said I thought 7 to 10 wins is what I thought they would win.
Right.
Somewhere between 7 to 10, and my hope was a shot at the playoffs. I was thinking, you didn't know how good Dallas was going to be, so it looked like it could be a weak division, and my hope was that we'd have a chance at division or wild card. But what they did in the second half of the season, like style play wise, is what I expected. I expected this team to be a run heavy team. That's what I thought. I thought it would rely a lot more on Miles Sanders, and you would try to run and develop Hurts that way. That's what I was so pissed off about early in the year when they were not running the ball. So that's kind of what I thought in a lot of ways. What surprised me, a couple things have surprised me. What has surprised me is I didn't realize how good some of these young offensive linemen are. I think Jalen Hurts is way more advanced than I thought. I think his progression this year has been way more than I thought it could be. And he still's got work to do, but he's improved so much. And Nick Sirianni too. I think Nick Sirianni, the way he adjusted, those are the things that really surprised me this year.
Yeah. And I think even what happened at the beginning of the season when we weren't running the football, we'd say to ourselves, how is this guy going into like week 5 of the season? Like, how is this guy not fired yet for not running the football? Like any coach would be fired by now. But then we said to ourselves, is Howie Roseman behind this? There was some rumors that maybe he handcuffed the coaches and kind of, maybe he kind of took his hands off of these coaches a little bit, because this is Shane Steichen. That was from a run heavy offense with the Chargers.
Right.
And Nick was with the Colts in a run-heavy offense. So you're kind of wondering, why is there no run game? And I think we were promised so much before the season started. We were promised from Gannon, disguising coverages and different schemes and all this type of, Mike Zimmer type defense type stuff. And then with Nick, we were promised that, using players to their strengths, diverse, a lot of speed, diverse offense. And we didn't get that. And you know what? I think part of it was putting a rookie head coach with a rookie quarterback at the time together. Usually that doesn't happen. Usually it's you should have a veteran coach that, kind of, brings in his own quarterback and, brings him along. And maybe we wouldn't have had as many mistakes as we did. But I think as the season went on, we went through a lot of lows this year. And we didn't know where this team was going. I'm not saying we almost gave up on this team, but we figured like they had to pull the plug on everything and literally just, this is a rebuilding team that really had a rebuilding team that we, even by week 5, week 6 of the season, we said there's no way they're getting to the playoffs. There's no way that they're doing a damn thing this year. And then you saw something that we haven't seen the past couple of years is resiliency. This team did not give up. This team, when this team is again, is backs against the wall, nowhere to escape, nowhere to run, this team fights back. And I think Nick has brought a culture to this team. I think Nick has really put in a fight with these guys, and these guys want to. These guys want, especially. I think Jalen Hurts has gravitated those players towards him, and I think that these players want to play for Nick Sirianni. As much as a big joke that he was at his first press conference and all this stuff that he says, his outside the box personality, I think at the end of the day, we really got a really good coach that is a player's coach, but he is a hard coach at the same time.
Right.
This team's fought this year. This team went through a lot. This was a fight back season. This was they saved their season. Obviously, like there's some Eagles fans out there thinking that we didn't deserve it because we needed help from other teams. Obviously, if we had to win out, we wouldn't have done what we did tonight. Okay, we wouldn't have sat players out. If we had to win this game, you had to play everybody. There's no.
I feel like if the Eagles played their stars this game, they would have won. I mean, I don't feel like they would have lost. I really don't. I just want to play Dallas so bad. You don't understand. Like I just think Dallas would be. It would be like. I really think they would be in shock if they played us. with everybody and Hurts and running the ball. I think we would hit Dallas in the mouth and they won't know what hit them. I really do. Supposedly, yeah, the punter was awful tonight, by the way.
Yeah, Sipos was. I don't know because weren't they working out a punter like last week or the week before that? Like
I don't remember. Supposed to not be that bad.
They worked out another punter a week or two ago. I remember seeing it. I forgot the guy's name. It was from somebody's practice squad. They worked out.
I don't remember.
They never signed him.
God, he was bad.
Yeah, I mean you can't.
He's been pretty good all year.
Yeah.
So hopefully he gets his stuff together because that last punt that they scored before halftime really killed us.
Yeah.
If he had
to know they signed a kicker.
Well, kicker. Okay. I was a little worried about Jake Elliott. I was like, don't play him either. Don't need him getting hurt.
Even, you notice like even that Washington game, you notice when the offense isn't working, the defense isn't working, it seems like everything transfers through this whole entire team. Like then Jake Elliott misses a kick and then it just seems like it all just falls apart. Even that Washington game, we didn't live stream, we didn't have a stream because I was sick, but I even thought in that game, like Hurts just kept going. Like he was making his throws, like the whole team was kind of not doing anything, but he just kept chugging along and he was making his throws and he was fighting. You know what I mean?
That's why I want to see him in the I think he's mentally so strong, and I think he's a high pressure guy. He's got ice in his veins. I want to see him in a situation in the playoffs. I would like to see it. 2 minutes left, down 4. I think he wins you the game. I think he's that kind of guy. So, man, God, I just want to play Dallas. Just give me Dallas. Give me Dallas.
Most importantly, you have to run the football. You have to run the football.
You have to run the football. Absolutely.
If Miles Sanders, are you afraid if Miles Sanders is back? Like, are you afraid like he has to work himself to 100% again, and then he's going to fumble the ball?
No,
he's going to have the fumbling issues.
No, I mean, I don't think he's going to get 15 carries, but you can work him in there. I think with the rotation of him, even if he's getting 10 to 12 carries because of his hand, let's say, and then you got Scott and Howard, I don't think a team like Dallas could handle that. I think they would wear him out.
I mean, his hand is not fully healed. There's no way because I've broken my hand. I've had a bone broken in my hand, and it took more than 3 weeks for my hand.
It takes more than 3 weeks, but it's just a matter of I've seen players play with broken hands. I remember linebackers playing with casts on. So we'll see.
We have a super chat from Ray Brinson. Didn't say anything, but man, appreciate the super chat.
Thank you, my man.
Much, bro. Yeah, it's I said to myself, like, and I'm not just saying because we made the playoffs, like I think even if they didn't make the playoffs, just say like, if the Vikings won that game or whatnot and nothing really went our way, even not being Dallas or whatever, like I think this team put a really good foot forward into next year. I think they really showed. I think they grew up in front of our. I mean, they grew in front of our eyes. They really did.
They did. It's been a great season. To me, like I said, the playoffs are we're playing with house money right now. There should be no pressure on us. Go out, have fun, and get the experience. Think of all the young guys. Jalen Hurts is getting experience. Milana's, they're all getting playoff experience. Devontae Smith. I mean, there's a lot to grow on. This team's future is bright. It's extremely bright. But I will say this. How they handle this offseason, I think, is going to be detrimental to the next 5 years. If they have a good offseason and do the right things and make the right picks, they're setting this team up for a long time.
Yeah, if they hit on these draft picks and they,
dude, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't change something. No, go ahead. Say what you were saying.
No, I'm saying like if they hit on these draft picks, I mean, look, if Howie does the right thing, if there is somewhat of a collaborative effort for this draft, like, look, like I know. They have to change things sooner or later. Like I know in this last draft, we had some Howie picks. We didn't think they were going to trade it. We did when they moved back from 6 to 12. We didn't think they were going to move back up and go get Devontae Smith because when me and you were streaming that draft the first night, that board was going wrong. The whole every pick was going wrong, and we were getting to the point where we're like, who's left? There wasn't even cornerbacks left, or at least there was like an offensive lineman we could take, but that was like as much as we can go. So. his trades are great. Like that, we don't get screwed on trades. It never happens.
No, he does a great job on trades. No question about it.
But that's it. So let's say about
you know what's funny is if we, let's say we did play the Cowboys next week, right? All we're going to hear is the 40 burger and the 50 burger, the 40 burger and the 50 burger, the 40 burger and the 50 burger. That team, especially the fan base, is so set up for failure, they don't even know it. Mm-hmm. They have this false sense of security that they beat the crap out of us, that they're going to do it again. They beat us twice. It is hard to beat a divisional opponent 3 times in 1 year. Let me tell you, Dallas is the best possible matchup. It's almost as close as you could get to a guaranteed win. That's how bad I want Dallas. We got a great chance to beat Dallas. Rams, Bucks, harder, much harder.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's more likely it's going to happen. I think that's the more likely scenario situation of who we're going to be facing. I mean, that's probably.
I think we're playing the Bucks. I mean, it sounds like it's going to be the Buccaneers, which is not. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah, so you can't, even in that game, you can't play basic. You have to go all out. I mean, for all 4 quarters, you can't take a rest in that game, especially against Tom Brady. Because you move the corners back, they're going to underthrow everything. You have to be aggressive in that game. You have to move Brady around that pocket.
Listen, Brady may beat you. You blitz Brady, Brady could destroy you. We all know that. But he's going to destroy you if you're sitting back and not getting pressure. You're going to have to take some chances, or your defensive line is going to have to play on another level. But we know the key to Brady has always been pressure. So you have to. I just think they have to play aggressive. You want the Eagles to be in the fourth quarter running the ball still. If you don't want it to be where you're down and they take the running game away. So to me, it's all going to be about the aggressiveness of defense and that running game.
Yeah, it's based off of that running game. Like even today, like we did as much as we could, but even in the second half, late, the end of the third to the fourth quarter, I mean, we just, we're doing screen passes. I mean, we tried doing different things, it just didn't work. Right. So
exactly,
how long was it going to last until Dallas was going to adjust? And that's pretty much what happened.
I mean, it's just you're playing a practice squad, guys. Eventually, they can only do what they can do. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're not, Go ahead. I'll let you read this and then I'll answer because
we got. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I wasn't even looking at the time. We have a super chat from George Burwell. Appreciate it. Says, y'all don't understand the text messages I was getting. It was pissing me off. Cowboy fans saying we're killing y'all. Like, really?
I know.
Played our backups.
Not even our backups. Like, our third and fourth string practice squad guys. I mean, it's amazing to me. But they really, that's the delusion of being a Cowboy fan. And it just, they're going to feel good about themselves. They're going to think that, hey, we're back. We got going. We scored 51 points against the Eagles. And they really are setting themselves up for the big loss. And we're all going to be there talking about it next week. I really think so. I don't care who the Dallas plays next week, whether it's the Eagles, Cardinals, Rams, they're going to lose.
Yeah, they had Kevon Wallace and Sasir at safety. Sasir is like, I don't know what string.
It's like practice squad, dude.
He's behind Kevon
That's practice squad.
He's the fourth. Yeah. No, Kevon Wallace is the fourth safety. Sasir's the fifth safety.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
59 at the linebackers. I don't even know who that guy was.
I don't even know who. No, they activated 12 practice squad guys today. So, I mean, South Texas, 41-21, 51-26. Enough said. Exactly. Enough said about you guys. That's all you got. You're done. You're done.
I think, I mean, we're gonna.
I'd say this though: 59 shouldn't be. 59 needs to be retired. They need to retire that number.
Yeah. I was just thinking that too. Why?
I don't know why that should be retired. That's a retired number, in my opinion.
Huh. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
But it's not. It's not.
Right. And on top of everything else, Devontae Smith breaks Deshaun Jackson's rookie record, which is great.
He did. So. Oh, it was great. I mean, he did it in one extra game, but that's all right. I thought it was big. I just think Devontae Smith is such a good player that we got to figure a way to use him more, and there's just more to do with him.
Should have had more yards this year. He could have done so much. Could have over 12
more yards
this
year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If we I agree. I think that they need to treat him like the number one and target. You see how they targeted him in this game early? That should be every game.
Right. They should let him a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have 263 in the chat. Much love to everybody that joined the Philly Shakedown tonight. We haven't done a stream in a while. I've been sick with the virus all week, and I still don't really feel too great. But had a lot of fun today talking about this game. We weren't able to talk about the Washington game or this game until tonight. So much love to everybody joining in the stream. If you guys haven't subscribe to the channel. Cover the Eagles every day. We do the Philly Shakedown Saturdays, Sundays.
We're going to be doing it tomorrow too, because we're gonna talk about once the kind of the day's over and we know who we're playing. We'll do a show talking about it, because it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow.
Desert Eagle, what's going on, man? He says, imagine bragging about beating the backups.
The backups of the backups. You know what I mean? It's not even just the second string guys. It was the backups of the back. Dak Prescott had to play into the fourth quarter. That's pathetic. Pathetic. Westy Rock Rings, pathetic, man. Pathetic.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, guys, if you enjoy the content, subscribe, like the stream if you guys haven't. Subscribe to Philly 500 if you haven't. He did stream the game today, so check out that, and obviously other videos from both of us tomorrow. And tomorrow we'll do the Philly Shakedown episode 48 on Philly 500's channel. Should be a lot of fun, where we're going to talk about strictly the playoffs and what's the
who we got.
We'll know about who we have.
Hopefully it'll be Eagles versus Cowboys. Oh man, I'll be so
what has
pumped.
to happen? What has to happen for that? I saw it on TV earlier today.
I don't know. There's I think it depends. Now with the Eagles losing, I don't know. I don't know if the Cowboys have to get to the second seed. The Eagles got to get up to the 6th seed. So maybe San Francisco loses, New Orleans wins. Maybe the Eagles get to the 6th seed. Cowboys, let's say, I think Tampa would have to win, the Rams would lose, and the Cardinals would have to lose. So Rams, Cardinals have to lose, I believe, and Tampa would have to win. Then I think the Eagles, and then New Orleans has to win. Then it's like a 3. The Eagles would be the 6th seed, and the Cowboys would be the 3rd seed. I think that's how it is. So I mean, we'll see. It's very unlikely they play the Cowboys. Really, if the Cowboys would have just took care of business last week versus the Cardinals, we would be set up.
Right, exactly. But all right, guys, we're gonna head out. We're kind of over the mark. We got some stuff to do tomorrow. I don't feel good, so I can only be up.
140 there, so you need to go to bed.
This is the latest I've been up since I've gotten the virus. So this is like the latest I've been up. So I'm beyond tired. That's why I tried streaming the game today. I was going to, and I just couldn't. I was just too weak. I couldn't sit up for 3 hours. I watched the game from sitting down, but I couldn't do it today. So I hope everyone has a good night. Eagles are in the playoff mentality now. We're ready to go. Yep. And by tomorrow night, we'll be back with the Philly Shakedown Philly 500's channel. So definitely subscribe to both of the channels if you guys haven't. And that's it. So we will see you guys later. You guys have a fantastic day.
Enjoy it. We exposed the Cowboys tonight.
The Dallas Cowboys beat the Philadelphia Eagles practice squad today.
That's right. They beat the practice squad. Their starters, Cowboys starters, beat the practice squad.
All right, guys. You guys have a fantastic night. We'll see you guys later. Remember, shake, squad up, follow, slide. Peace out, guys. Peace, guys.